Hey everyone, it's Tony George from Doc Sports. It's Tuesday, and you know what that means. Week 14 NFL opening line report. That's right, Week 14. I'm reminded of how deep we are into the NFL season, living part time here in Kansas City. Can't wait to get back to the desert when it's 14 degrees outside and snow on the ground. Whew. 7 years full time in Vegas. I didn't miss this crap. Nonetheless, this is the show where we talk about the opening lines. I haven't seen the opening lines. I know what this line is. Talk about it. This is where you leave comments in the comments section, and I filter out the F-bombs, any haters, links to porn sites, links to other handicappers who come in here and put links to their page and tell you that we're no good here and they're the greatest thing ever and no one's ever heard of them because they don't have enough gusto to go out and try and round up their own clients. But that being said, I get thousands of views a week on this thing, and I get hundreds upon hundreds of comments. I can't put them all up, but I'll put up the ones I get to. We have other things to do during the week, like daily college basketball, which is grueling, NBA, NHL, getting ready for football releases on Thursday at DocSports.com. Props. We're going to talk about props at the end of the show and where you're really missing out. I'm not going to try and sell you anything. I'm going to try and tell you something. And I think that's what I do here 99% of the time. That being said, we'll take a look. These are not handicap picks. These are my initial reactions to lines that I haven't seen till right now. And I share those reactions and early leans with you. And then you leave comments in the comments section about what your leans are, where you think I'm crazy, where you got a better teaser, you got a better parlay, you got a better take on the game, and I'll approve those comments and interact with you. Okay? So, that being said, we had a 4-2 week in the NFL. Should have been 5-1. The Cleveland Browns, Jameis Winston, that was the outlier in that game. That kid is a human turnover machine, and he cost us on the cover. Twice in the fourth quarter with picks. One a pick six. By the way, when the guy's on the ground intercepts a pass and the receiver sees him intercept the pass and laying on the ground, walk up and touch the guy. Oh my God. Whew. Scott Van Pelt's bad beats all over again. Sitting there watching it. Oh my. It's my best 10 minutes on television every week. Scott Van Pelt's bad beats. Let's get to this here. Hope you all had a good Thanksgiving. We had one NFL play on Thanksgiving. Help you stuff the turkey with a little cash on Dallas. That's right. I laid points with Dallas. That's how bad the Giants are. Oh, man. Let's get to it. Thursday night football. Oh, my God. We have an NFC North divisional battle between the Detroit Lions, who barely got by, against the Green Bay Packers. 3.5, 51.5. Thursday night, not short week. They both played on Thanksgiving. So it's a full week. Remember, Detroit went into Green Bay and absolutely railed them. They beat them by 10, but they dominated that game. Honestly, Detroit, I have futures ticket on them to win the NFC this year. Substantial ticket. Substantial. Think they're that good. Been telling you all year long, two teams that were vastly overrated were the New York Jets and, of course, the San Francisco 49ers. Now, the 49ers had injury problems. They weren't good anyway. Over comes to mind. What was that first game? A 10-point win. What was that? That was not too long ago. Yeah, they put up 38 points. What was the total in that one? 49. They raised it. Yeah, they raised it for a reason. Green Bay has put up 20, 38, and 30 in the last 3 games, and Detroit has put up 23 in a pathetic effort, actually, against Chicago. 24 against Indianapolis, 52 against Jacksonville, 26 against Houston, 24 against Green Bay, 52 against Tennessee. Well, Tennessee and Jacksonville are weak sisters, so they're going to expose them. Green Bay can't really get a handle on them. They beat Miami up. They put up 38 and 30 the last 2 weeks. Give me the over. Give me the over. Yeah, give me the over. Jacksonville. Did you see that hit on Trevor Lawrence by the guy from Houston? Oh, man. He ain't playing. Tennessee, nice job against Washington, huh? Was that a blowout or what? Tennessee, why you ever fired Vrabel to this day is dumbfounding to me. Callahan can't coach. Neither could his old man. Total 39.5. Tennessee ought to have a field day against that secondary. Jacksonville's not going to be able to score. I hate to say it, but I'd lean Tennessee. And I think Peterson, head coach at Jacksonville's dead man walking. Minnesota at Atlanta laying 5. No, Atlanta at Minnesota. Minnesota laying 5, total 45.5. You saw the Kirk Cousins effect. One game he looks like he's Jameis Winston. One game he looks like a world beater, and the next game he looks like he never played organized football. A human turnover machine the last game they played. Atlanta played absolutely horrific and still only lost to Chargers by 4. Now, here's where I'm bringing you into the mix. You think Minnesota's a legit 10-2 team? You think they're one of the strongest teams in the NFC? You think they're stronger in that division than Green Bay or Detroit? You take a look at some of their wins. They got a powder puff schedule. I was kind of looking into this. They beat Arizona by 1 they shouldn't have beat. They barely beat Chicago. They struggled against Tennessee in a 10-point win. They managed to beat Jacksonville by 5. They beat the Colts by 8. They lost at the Chargers by 10. I mean, the best game they played is when they played Detroit to a 29-31 game, and that's when they were unbeaten. Kirk Cousins, and he's playing, that's his old team, too. They got rid of him. I'd take Atlanta in the points. 45.5 seems about right. Carolina at Philadelphia. Oh, God. Philadelphia proved it against Baltimore. They're in the mix. I can't stand that head coach, but yeah. Carolina, 12.5. I don't get near double-digit game. I have no interest in this. Total 46 about right. Philadelphia. Hang on a second. Who do they have on deck? Steelers. Okay, so is that a home game? Yeah. Carolina gave Tampa Bay and Kansas City all they wanted. They beat the Giants and they beat the Saints. You coming off a big game against Baltimore, you got Steelers on deck, and then 2 divisional games after that to secure yourself a high seed in the playoffs and possibly win your division against Washington, who's also, one of the games they got to play in their next 3. I'd take Carolina in the points, believe it or not. Hello. Jets. What I've been telling you about the Jets. They're on the road getting 6.5, total 45.5 at Miami. Miami had to go play at Green Bay. We all know about, Tua under 50 degrees. He can't win games. They're back in South Beach. Smell like Jamaican rum and Coppertone. 45.5, so total might be a bit high. Aaron Rodgers is done. The Jets are done. I told you all year long that was one of my biggest futures bets. was the underseason win totals with the Jets. Rodgers is not going to play again next year. He needs to ride off into the sunset. Your career is over. You can't play. You just... I had Seattle as a premium play, a 4-unit premium play on Sunday against them. I mean, they played the last 2 times they played, which was both last year. Miami lit them up for 34 and 30 points. They've beaten Miami 1 time since October of 2020. That was a 40-17 win in October of 2022. If you don't use Miami in a teaser, you're out of your mind. Matter of fact, use them in a next, get them down to -0.5. And put them with the Steelers, who are laying 6 against Cleveland. Now 6.5. Winston, you saw it. You saw what he's capable of, putting up almost 500 yards or whatever it was on against a good defense of Denver. But he just turns the ball over, and you got T.J. Watt running around. Steelers are going to be a lock in a teaser on one, either a 2 or 3 teamer. Mike Tomlin is not going to lose that game at home against the Browns. Especially since they played them November 21st and lost. And you saw their offense get going last week. Of course, anybody's offense is going to get going against Cincinnati. But Wilson spread it around well. He looked good. He's in a groove. They're buying in. Cleveland back-to-back roadies, including short week. Give me Pittsburgh. Definitely in a teaser. Tampa Bay laying 7 against the Raiders. Tampa Bay is tied in their division with a 500 record with Atlanta. They're laying 7, total 46. Vegas gave Kansas City all they wanted and then some. Tampa Bay still shorthanded, doing it with smoke and mirrors. Bucky Irving, if you're not betting this guy on player props on over on rushing yards till books catch up, then you're doing yourself a disservice. You're leaving thousands on the table. I can only take the Raiders. What do you think? New Orleans on the road, laying 5 to the Giants, total 40.5. Cold weather, dome team. Giants suck. Drew Lock, not a bad quarterback. Better than Tommy Cutler, Danny, the Cutlets guy, and of course Jones has been waived. Dead man walking a head coach. New Orleans on an interim head coach. You know, 2 bad teams playing, and the home team is getting points. You take the home team. Give me the Giants. Arizona, Seattle. Oh, here's a good one. Arizona. Been telling you all year long there's a team that's undervalued. They cover spreads, dude. Forget their record. They cover spreads. They're laying 2.5 against Seattle, who they played last week. That was a 16-6 game. Total 44.5. Tell you, Seattle's that's for that division. Hang on a second. Let's take a look. This is a big, big game. Huge. So Seattle's got a 1-game lead on Arizona. They own a tiebreaker right now because they played them and beat them already. You got the Rams and Arizona at 6-6 and Seattle at 7-5, and San Francisco is an afterthought. And now McCaffrey's gone. They're an afterthought. if you take a look at things as a whole, there's just more to Seattle than there is to Arizona catching 2.5. Quick turnaround, revenge at home for the division, a division tie, or to secure a pretty good spot in the division. Now, Geno Smith is a poor man's Jameis Winston. If he's good, they're going to win. He got a great 1-2 punch at wide receiver. You got a solid tight end. You got a good offensive line. You got a good 1-2 punch at running back with Walker and Charbonnet. Telling you, I take the dog. Definitely put Seattle in the teaser at the plus 8.5. He gets you 3, 6, and 7. Those are the 3 key fall numbers. Definitely have them in a teaser. Stick them with Miami or Pittsburgh. I'd lean Seattle early. Chicago on the road at San Francisco's laying 4. What's San Francisco doing laying 4 to anybody? Now McCaffrey's out rest of the year. They're done. How deflated are they after that Buffalo game? They got shellacked. I know it was snow and all this and that and the other for all you Niners fans. Your team's no good. You've been overrated all year. Bears, Eberflus, he's gone. That was the biggest debacle in clock management and head coaching I've ever seen in the NFL. And I've seen some pretty serious clown acts over 33 years of doing that. I've been saying it all year long. You watch Gridiron Six Pack, we've been telling you about the Jets, telling you about the Niners, telling you about Chicago and the development of Caleb Williams. The reason he hasn't developed like a Bo Nix or a Jaden Daniels, even the May in New England to a certain degree, is because coaching is so bad there and he has 0 offensive line. You would think that San Francisco's defense, I could only take Chicago. New head coach, the very next game, they always play good for whatever reason. It's going to be wide open play calling and nobody gives a rat's ass. And that's the problem in this game. Both these teams have just got to be deflated. You know, Chicago's a decent cover team. Could be an underplay at 44, actually. I'd lean Chicago, definitely put them in a teaser. Buffalo, 4.5 on the road at Los Angeles. Total 49. What do you guys think on this one? Is that still 4.5? Yep. I mean, they're on an 8-game, what are they on? An 8-game winning streak here. They beat the Jets. They beat the Titans. We're talking about the Bills. Seattle, convincing win at Seattle, 31-10. That's impressive. Their last 2 road games, they won by 10 points each. Their last 2 road games, they scored 61 points total. Won both of them by double digits. Rams are off a win against the Saints, which is, how impressive is that? They played a high-powered team in Philadelphia, got beat by 17. They played Miami on Monday. Remember that Monday night game? They got smacked. They did win at Seattle. They won against Minnesota. Buffalo's got Detroit on deck. Wow. I'd take the Rams. Numbers too high. Kansas City, my boys right here. Kansas City is an enigma wrapped in a riddle. They haven't played a good game all year long. And they're 11-1. They're the number one team in the AFC, and they haven't played a game all year long. They got Pacheco back last week. Worthy, Hopkins, Kelsey, Gray. If you're not playing Gray on props for Kansas City, you're out of your mind. Total 43. This is a low-scoring game the last time they played. Kansas City won. I think it was a 3-point win. Let me take a look at that. No, it's 10-17 ball game. Weather's supposed to be cold, but nothing massive here this upcoming week. Definitely take the under 43. I'd probably lean Chargers. The Monday night game, Cincinnati, Dallas. Cincinnati's on the road laying 5.5. You think McCarthy's done? Think he's dead man walking? 50 is a total. Play the over. Play the over. Play the over. Yep. That's your Monday nighter. Be sure and leave your comments. We'll get to them this week. Also, just going to tell you, these NFL props, I did a free prop bet for you on Monday night with over with Bo Nix. And we have a prop bet section on the YouTube page. So it doesn't come under daily picks. You got to look under daily prop picks. We'll start putting up more of those for you. As I stated in that video, this is an emerging market that's still soft. There's different ways to skin a cat and win money against the books, and I've won more money betting props this year than any other sport, except baseball, because we had a record-setting year, plus $14,000 for a $100 player on the season. I'm gonna win money. Now, when it comes to side and total, these books, they have supercomputers and this, that, and the other that spit out numbers based on algorithms and sabermetrics and all that, and come up with a number. You always sit around going, how'd that land on 217? How'd the books know that was going to be 217? This, that, or the other. That when both teams were scoring, barely 100 points. How many times you say, how do they get it so close? Well, they don't have that system in place for props yet. They're still soft, and you can expose it. Now, one thing about props, you base a lot of the props on how you think the game's going to go, what the offensive play calling is going to be, who's going to shine in that game, and then all of a sudden, say you got it tied up where it's going to be Jim Harbaugh is going to try and pound the rock the entire game. Well, they get down 10 points right out of the gate. Next thing you know, the guy throws 42 times, and the running game's ignored, and you're sitting there holding the bag thinking it was going to be a run-heavy, attack, which probably was going to be out of the gate, but crap happens. So it's like betting NASCAR. Every now and then, the guy that's leading the most laps that you've got in a head-to-head blows out a right rear tire and puts him into the wall, and he's down 2 laps and doesn't even place in the race hardly. The guy that he was whipping butt on all day long ends up finishing higher than him. Though, things happen. But for the most part, steady as she goes. Get involved. Prop cards at Docs are $25. We had a 7-unit on Sunday and a 6-unit on Monday. Both profit on both cards. I think we had a profit. Don't quote me. I think we profited Thanksgiving Day too, if I'm not mistaken. We're 11-3 with NFL top pick props this year. 11-3. I mean, that's like almost 90%, 80-some percent. And most of them are minus 110, minus 120s. So get involved. Get over to Docs. We'll give you a free $60, link in the description below. Never been a member. We'll park $60 in any new account. comes the profit guarantee, no strings, no hassles. Get over there and check it out. Our picks will be up on Thursday. Tune into the Gridiron Six-Pack. Myself and Griff Murphy, we took last week off because of Thanksgiving and travel and family, and you happen to get plays out on Wednesday instead of Thursday, so we got to take care of the paying clients, but we'll give you 6 freebies Wednesday right here on this channel. Look for the Six-Pack Show. Thanks for tuning in. Leave your comments. I'll get back to you.